Oh, my mic is on. What is up, Reset? We are back. My name is Christian Mickey from West Windsor Baptist Church, and we are so excited to be with you guys tonight for another Reset Remote. We had so much fun doing this back in April, and we decided we have to do it again. So we are back tonight, and the good news is it's not just tonight either. We are doing this the rest of the summer, once a month, leading up to our Reset One Night event in September that you guys are all used to. We are going to have a blast this summer. And tonight, you got some really exciting stuff to look forward to. Jackson is going to be hosting us, leading us through some fun games. We are going to see Ben and Sarah eat something absolutely disgusting. We're going to worship together, and we are going to hear an awesome message from Liz. It is going to be a great night. So we are so excited that you guys are here with us tonight. We want you to jump in the comments, be interacting with us. I want everyone to shout out where they are watching from tonight. And I hope you guys are ready for an exciting night together. So Jackson, it's all yours. Let's do some Reset Remote.
Welcome to Reset Remote, guys. I'm Jack.
And I'm Liz.
Jarrell. We're so excited to be here with you guys. You could be anywhere on the internet,
But you chose to be here.
and we love that.
I wanted to let my sister-in-laws be on the camera. They are representing Grace Point Youth. Y'all, they're in town for Memorial Day weekend. What is up, Reset Remote? We are so happy you have chosen to join us today. Share this link, pass this around to your friends. We were talking on Instagram Live yesterday, and we decided that we can get to 180 peak viewers, which isn't that hard. Our one last April got to 140. If we can get to 180 peak viewers, I am going to make custom merch specifically. Making fun? No. Riffing? Maybe. Memeing? Perhaps. Some of the Reset youth pastors, because who doesn't want a shirt with Josh Jenks' face on it, right? So the first round I'm going to make is a Josh Jenks shirt. We need to hit 150 peak viewers, and I will make that happen. I can't think of a better thing to wear over the summer than a Josh Jenks shirt. And it's basically summer, y'all. It's a time for people to stay up late, to grill various meats, to go... Am I very loud? I'm being told I'm very loud. Am I that loud? Well, I can turn my mic down. Okay. We are... Turn the volume down on your computer. This is I've never had people in here before. So I'm going to quiet it down anyway, guys. It's summer. You can rock your Josh Jenks shirt. It's a time for you to grill various meats, eat watermelon, and it's also a time for Reset Remote. Usually I hate summer, but because I don't like sweating and I don't like getting sand in my toes. However, we are going to do Reset Remote all summer long, and that is giving me something to look forward to this summer. We are going to be doing it every month on the fourth Sunday of every month, and we cannot wait to do this every Sunday with you. Every month in summer with you guys. So, let me tell you something. When I first started doing these Reset Remote things, I heard the same thing every time I spoke to someone. Jack, you got to do a meme review. Jackson, you got to do a meme review. You got to do a meme review. And quite frankly, I didn't know what a meme review was. So I've had to immerse myself into this world of meme reviews. But because you asked for it, I am going to do a meme review. Basically, a meme review is when I review memes. Basically little things on the internet that people make. I'm going to review them. I don't really keep up with memes. I haven't watched that European dude on YouTube in a long time. What's his name? PewDiePie. Yeah, I haven't watched him in forever. I don't know much about this stuff, but I'm going to give it a shot. So here is your first meme in the meme review. They said I need to clap. Meme review, right? So let's move forward. This was submitted by someone from Christians. It's the wrestler. What does that mean? Reset Remote, I hope Reset Remote doesn't inflict pain on anyone, except maybe the occasional person who has to, bob for apples in a bucket of glue. That could be painful, but we haven't done that, and we won't do that. Just, who knows? But yeah, I don't know about this one. I definitely think that if that Reset Remote labeled wrestler is supposed to be me, that really hurt my feelings. And if that's the case, 0 out of 10 Jack stars for that meme because that hurt my feelings. Moving forward, I was so I love this meme. I know it's really old. I know it's really old school. It's from a video with two dogs who are just barking and making noises at each other. It is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Wait until reset is over. You don't leave this video to watch some weird video about dogs making noise at each other. But seriously, I have a question. Like, who gave this dog permission to fly an airplane? Regardless, dogs are cute. He's not wearing a seatbelt. I don't even care. And his wisdom is fire. Reset remote is happening. I'm giving this one 10 out of 10 because dogs. Dogs always get 10 out of 10 in my book. And we have a Michael Scott meme, y'all. What's he saying? He says, sometimes I'll start a sentence and don't even know where it's going. Guys, this is so me. You guys have no idea how often I start saying something without even knowing where it's going. Isn't that right, Liz? I just freestyle, like, especially when I'm praying. I remember one time in middle school, I was praying at a youth camp. We were sitting around a bonfire. Everybody was crying. You know the whole thing. And they asked me to pray. And I was praying, and I was like, dear Lord, thank you, Lord, Lord, Lord. Because when you're praying, for some reason out loud, you always say Lord, like it's punctuation. So I'm praying and praying for the Lord, for the Lord. And then suddenly I say, God, thank you for this food. There was no food. This was, all the kids started laughing during my prayer. It's a spiritual moment, and kids are cyberbullying me, laughing at me, making fun of me. And then I was getting so nervous, and I started tearing up. Instead of saying the word blessed, I said a different word that was much more embarrassing and much more awkward. And I left that youth group. After that, it was so cringeworthy, so embarrassing. So that is my relation to memes. I don't know, how did I do on this meme review? This is new for me, but anyway, thank you guys for submitting memes. Please submit memes to us at Reset so we can review them and promote them right here on the channel. So, the fun of Reset Remote is that you get to build the experience. We have students leading worship. We're hoping to have students leading devotional soon, right? We want to let students build the experience, and we also want you to choose what kind of programming we make. So a big part of that is we play a game called Pick Your Punishment, where we go to Instagram and we have you vote on something that a youth leader from Reset has to be punished with. So this month we asked you to create a custom ice cream sundae for a youth leader to enjoy, and boy did y'all make something gross. Ben Moore has to eat an ice cream sundae with canned vegetables, olives, and the hottest sauce he can find. Ew. Now, Ben Moore, if you don't know him, get to know him. He's from Thrive Youth Group. He went the extra mile because he did not just get normal hot sauce. The dude found the hottest hot sauce he could find, and it's nearly 40,000 times hotter than sriracha. Like in the show Hot Ones, it's the second to last one. And the dude put that on an ice cream sundae with a bunch of olives. Ugh.
So, of course, we're going to start off with a nice scoop of vanilla ice cream. And on top of that, we'll add some awesome black olives. Toss a few of them on there. Some lima beans. Might as well go with some sliced carrots while we're at it. And to finish it all off, some hot sauce. Now, a lot of you that are seeing this probably don't realize I'm a bit of a hot sauce connoisseur, so I had some to choose from. But I'm going with one called Dave's Ultimate Insanity. Could have gone easy with the Frank's Red Hot or Sriracha, but we might as well just kick it right up to the limit here. The kids from our group will know this as number 8. I don't know who Dave is, but I can say after trying this, he truly must be insane. So, we'll just put a few drops of this on here. Oh, look at that. There we go. Definitely feeling the hot sauce. Ice cream is not cooling that down at all. Oh. Well, It's nothing you got to worry about showing up on the menu at the local DQ anytime soon. That's going to burn for a while.
I'm sorry for the shaky video, but this is hilarious.
I need some milk. There. I hope your reset night is going well and better than mine is right now. Have a good night.
All right, I'm going to try something I've never tried before, guys. I am going to bring a guest on. Right here, we have him in the flesh, well, on a webcam. We have Mr. John Schultz. Hey, Mr. John Schultz, how are you doing?
Hey, Mr. Jackson, I'm doing great.
Dude, it is so good to see you. So as you know, at Reset, we have decided to do a thing called Reset Summer Bucket List. Basically what we're doing is we're encouraging students with a challenge to do something and submit it to our Instagram as a direct message. And basically we're going to make up random things for them to do just to kind of have a little bit of fun over this summer. And of course, the person who does it the best wins a prize. So because I love you and I want you to be a part of this, John, what should our first summer bucket list item be?
All right. I was thinking about this.
Okay.
Almost to the point of fasting. Like, that's
Okay.
how serious I was about this. I'm thinking you guys should create an imaginary friend.
Okay.
Okay? You tracking? And
Okay.
then break up with that imaginary friend.
Okay.
Only, here's the kicker, only to become their friend again.
Got it. We got it. So let's do something other than that. Give me one more backup one, John.
Come on!
give me a backup. What's something else we can do for a summer bucket list? How do you prove an imaginary friend?
You could see, here's my imaginary friend. You see him? His name's Al.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, Al. Al Roker, like the weatherman. Yep.
Okay,
except
your
we're
imaginary
different.
friend is
yeah.
Al Roker.
Yeah. Yeah. You know
what? That's the. Do you
fine,
want to make
Jack,
that the one?
I'll create a trademark on that. Here's the other one I got.
Okay.
This one's really good. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I want you guys to become friends with a next door neighbor or an elderly person that lives close to you and see if you can do one nice thing for them. Like make
that.
a card or mow their lawn
I
or
like that.
knit a quilt.
Wow.
I don't know if you knit a quilt. I think you knit oven warmers.
I think you quilt a quilt. You knit you knit a scarf or something like that. I think it's how it works.
We should just create a new word and call it nilt. You nilt a quilt.
Nilt a quilt.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I
that.
love that idea, Josh. That's fantastic. Josh. Oh gosh, I'm recording. Okay. We're live.
Don't
so.
worry.
John.
Actually, we're so close that my social security card is actually Josh.
There are too many J names. Jackson, Josh, John, Jate. Oh my gosh. Anyway, dude, thank you. That is great. So you heard it. Do something nice for someone in your community. Write a letter to the fire station. Write a letter to first responders, essential workers. Write a letter to a person who is shut in. Make a gift. Do a fruit basket. Mow someone's lawn. I really like that. And John, while you're here, I just want to say thank you, man. Like, you have built so much with Reset. You have been a behind-the-scenes player, but you're doing so much behind the scenes. And I just want to say thank you because you are really a major heartbeat behind Reset. And I just want people to know how much you do and how much I love you and appreciate you. So thank you, John. You're the best.
Thank you. Love you, Jack. Love you, Reset Nation.
Let's do
Hoorah.
this. Let's switch out of this thing. How do you... We're now... How do I switch cameras? Okay. Here we go. That looks more like... Did y'all see how terrible that angle was? Anyway, what is up? Yeah, John came up with a very interesting idea first, but I love where we landed. So we are going to encourage you to do something nice for someone, especially those essential workers, people in your community. Write letters, send fruit baskets, make some muffins. Like, that is fantastic. Do good, because in this world, we need some good news right now. And good news is worth spreading, so be a part of that. Like, step up and do something cool in your community like that. Or make everyone a Sunday, like Ben Moore just said. Yes, fantastic. So let me tell you a story to introduce the message. I have a very overactive imagination, right? Like, it is brutal. And so I can think of something and then scare myself. So I could be like, hey, wouldn't it be weird if a clown holding a knife and a balloon was like standing behind me. And then suddenly I can't look in the bathroom mirror for like 2 weeks because it's in my brain, right? Very overactive imagination. And my overactive imagination has gotten me in trouble so many times because I can just freak myself out very easily, and it's very easy for me to get caught up in my fears. So, speaking of fears, I'm going to tell a story that petrifies me. I think I've told it at one Reset event. If you've seen it, I'm sorry. I want to tell you about the time that I cuddled my cousin because I was afraid of a demon. So I was staying with my cousin one summer at his house, and we do what kids do. We're telling ghost stories. I'm in like young middle school, maybe even elementary school, and we start telling ghost stories. And my cousin tells me a story that makes my heart pound. Right? He tells me about a little girl who right down the road from his house was murdered, and it was a tragic story, and she died tragically, and then. By the way, I looked it up, didn't happen. However, he told me the story really well, and I believed it happened. And he said, now at night you can hear her crying while the swing set creaks. That is so scary. Like, I'm thinking about this demon baby crying in the wilderness outside my window right down the road, and it freaked me out, right? And I start I'm laying down to sleep, and my eyes are so open because I'm so scared of this story. And I lay in bed, and I close my eyes trying to go to sleep. And I start to hear it. I hear like, just crying coming out the window, and I lose my mind, okay? And then next thing I know, I calm down, I go back to sleep, and then I hear crying again. And then I look over at my cousin for some comfort, and he says, do you hear that too? That is the last thing you want to hear when you are being haunted by a demon baby. This whole little, he's hearing it, I'm hearing it, we're both screaming. And then I'm like, buddy, can I go lay next to you? And then I get in the bed, and we're just like, we're not sleeping, we're just next to each other, and we're just listening to this demon baby wail in the night. And somehow, miraculously, we fall asleep. And then I wake up the next morning, and I hear the demon baby again. And we all know that demon babies do not haunt people in the daytime, right? They work the graveyard shift. They work at night. That's what they do. So this is weird. So I go and listen out the window, and as I get near the window, I hear it loudly, and I'm like, that makes sense. It's coming out the window. But then I move, and it's actually coming from a speaker. And I put my ear against the speaker, and I hear waves going whoosh, whoosh, and seagulls going caw, caw. And then I go and pull out the CD player, and it says Sounds of the Ocean, soothing whale noises to help you sleep. We were being haunted by the Free Willy mixtape. We were being haunted by the sound of whales. It wasn't a demon baby. And I was scared, right? And what do we do when we feel scared? We go and we cling to our friends. That's what we do. We find community. And as Christians, we need to cling to Christian community, especially when we're facing fears. Because some of you are facing very real fears. You're fearful for your family's future. You're fearful of letting people in and letting them know who you really are, so you hide behind a mask. Or you're scared that you might be unlovable because of some terrible thing someone said that one time and it sticks with you. Or you're fearful of the thoughts happening in your own head. They're keeping you up at night. You can't seem to catch a breath because you're so inundated with these thoughts and these flashbacks. And maybe you're fearful that that's going to be your forever and that's going to become your identity. Guys, if you are facing fear, you need to cling to community because as we say in Reset, community is God's answer for crisis. And tonight's message is all about finding comfort when you are facing crisis, calamity, fear, and uncertainty. And I want to tell you about this. Tonight, we are going to have my favorite Reset speaker of all time. I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm sorry, John. This is my favorite Reset speaker of all time. She is the most caring person I know. She has the biggest heart of anyone I know. She is my wife. We are trying to diversify voices at Reset, and she has a background more along the lines of counseling. So her background, she has a degree in counseling, and when I got to know her, what she was doing is she was essentially coaching students and counseling students in college while they were transitioning out of adolescence and into adulthood, and she was so good at it. She had this nurturing heart and this big care, and she was so good at making powerful principles practical, and tonight she's going to share some of those with you. So lean in and listen to what Liz has to say as she shares a message with you about finding comfort amid chaos.
What is up, Reset Remote? I'm so excited to be here today, and I am so happy to be kicking off the summer series. I love everything that the guys at Reset do, and I try to be a part of everything. And that makes me think of this time a couple years ago when Jack and I were driving home from Reset one night in September, and we had my little sister Annabeth with us because her birthday was coming up and she was homeschooled at the time, so she didn't have to worry about missing school. And my parents were already planning on coming to visit us in North Carolina in a couple days, so it was the perfect storm, literally. As we were driving, we were about halfway, and our phone started to make that really panic, alarming noise to let us know that something bad was happening around us. And in our case, there were tornadoes. Now, for those of you who have met me or know anything about me, you know that I am not a Southerner. I am from beautiful upstate New York, where the most treacherous thing you're gonna encounter is the white fluffy stuff that falls from the sky. So naturally, the word tornado kind of makes me nervous. But not Jack. He's from the South, and he's learned in his lifetime that sometimes the word tornado doesn't amount to anything. So he said, let's just keep going. And that's what we did. As he's calmly telling us all about the tornadoes that are touching down mere miles from where my car is, I start to grow panic. And by this point, Annie and I, we're holding hands, we're crying, we're panic praying every word we have ever heard in our entire lives. And eventually Jack calmly coaches me through, maybe you should get off at the next exit. And that's exactly what we did. Eventually we get off the highway and we pull into a rest stop and we update our moms, and Jack makes the executive decision that we're just gonna stay here tonight. So he books a hotel, and Annie and I panic buy all the snacks in the store because if you're gonna die, it might as well be with a full belly of deliciousness. And then the storm died down so we could drive to our hotel. And honest to goodness, God gave us the ultimate gift in that. Right in front of our hotel was a glorious Chick-fil-A. Now, Annie and I whipped into that drive-thru, and we bought all that golden, crispy fried chicken and that delicious sauce made from the tears of joyful angels. And we filled our bellies full, and we melted into our hotel beds. And honestly, I've never slept better. And you may wonder why I'm telling you this story. You might think it's because Chick-fil-A could solve all of the world's problems, and although that's true, I'm actually telling you this story because it's a really good example of how chaos pushes us to find comfort. And I think right now we're all experiencing our own versions of chaos. Maybe you are home more and it's creating a lot of tension, and you're fighting more with your parents or your siblings. Or maybe you're in the middle of a breakup, or your friends who you thought were gonna last forever are slowly slipping away. Maybe the uncertainty of these times is getting to you. Maybe not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow or next week is making you really stressed out. But also in these times of chaos, we're probably all looking for our own versions of comfort. Maybe your comfort is in relationships. You're talking to everyone and you're telling them everything because you just need to feel comfort. Maybe your comfort is in shutting down and isolating. Maybe you just want to be locked in your room and left alone. Tonight, I want to share with you about a comfort that is constant. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible about my homeboy Elijah. So Elijah is in the book of 1 Kings, and we're going to see that he's a prolific prophet. And basically that means that God has used him to speak to the nation about all the things that are about to go down. And in doing so, he really upsets the royalty of the time, specifically the queen, Jezebel. She hates Elijah. If I could put it politely, I would say Elijah had 99 problems, and that chick was all of them. She hated him. She wanted him dead. And she even put a hit out on his life. And much like SpongeBob, Elijah said, I'm a head out. So that's where we're going to pick up the story of Elijah in 1 Kings 19, starting in verse 3. He's on the run, he's experiencing chaos, and he's 100% over it. So verse 3 says, Elijah was afraid and he fled for his life. He went to Beersheba, a town in Judah, and left his servant there. Then he went alone into the wilderness, traveling all day. He sat under a solitary broom tree and prayed that he might die. He said, Lord, I have had enough. Take my life, for I am no better than the ancestors before me who have already died." Then he lay down and he slept under the broom tree. But as he was sleeping, an angel touched him and said, "Get up and eat." Then he looked around, and there beside his head was some baked bread and a jar of water. So he ate, he drank, and then he lay back down. The angel of the Lord came again and touched him and said, "Get up and eat some more, or the journey ahead of you will be too much." So he got up, he ate and drank, and the food gave him enough strength to travel for 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. Once upon the mountain, he found a cave, and that's where he spent the night. So this leads me to my first point. There is something innately spiritual about a solid nap and a good snack. So my first point is, there's comfort in taking care of yourself. I recently learned about a parenting acronym called HALT. It's HALT, and it's for parents to help decide if their child is misbehaving because of an outside factor. So you question, are they hungry? Are they angry? Are they lonely? Or are they tired? And honestly, I think if we all paused and questioned, we'd be saving ourselves from acting a fool on a regular basis. But in this case, you may have heard sermons about Elijah before, and you may have heard the pastor lean into the spiritual aspect. Elijah cried out and God answered. But what I want to take note of is that I'm not a pastor. And the thing that sticks out to me is that God met Elijah's needs in a physical way. Before doing anything else, God said, "Have a snack, take a nap." And I think it's really important to acknowledge that God cares about the physical. God cares about you and your body. So my first point is, take care of yourself. What have you been doing in the midst of your chaos to take care of yourself? Are you nourishing your body? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you connecting with your emotions? Or are you just letting things build up and boil over? So I want you guys to think about take care of yourself. Moving on into Elijah's story, we'll see that he's reached his end again. While he's hiding in the cave, God shows up and brings him comfort. So in verse 9, we see the Lord says, "Elijah, what are you doing here?" And he says, "I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty. But the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you. They've torn down the altars and they've killed every single one of your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they're trying to kill me." God said, "Go out and stand before me on the mountain." And as Elijah stood there, the Lord passed by, and a mighty windstorm hit the mountain. It was such a terrible blast that it tore loose all the stones around. But the Lord wasn't in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake. But the Lord wasn't in the earthquake. After the earthquake, there was a fire. But the Lord wasn't in the fire. After the fire, there was a sound of a gentle whisper. God brings wind, earthquakes, fire, but ultimately, he brings comfort to Elijah by leaning in and whispering. And what do we know about whispers? Like, how can somebody whisper to you? They have to be close to you, right? If Jack started whispering to me in the other room, I wouldn't hear him. But if he was right here next to me, whispering in my ear, I'd hear every single thing he says. Which leads me to my second point. There is comfort in closeness. If Elijah wasn't looking for God, he would have missed the whisper. And ultimately, he would have missed out on his comfort. So my question to you is, what are you doing in the midst of your chaos to be close to God? Are you reading your Bible? Are you attending your youth group Zooms? Are you praying, listening to worship music, talking to God? What are you doing to be close? What are you doing to find comfort in the closeness? A real tangible example of closeness and the comfort you find in it, for me, comes from a time when I was in China a couple years ago. Right before Jack and I started dating, my best friend and I decided that we were going to go visit a friend of ours who lives in China, and we were so excited, and we took the trip, and almost instantly we learned that China is very different. And there's a lot of people, millions of people, and they're doing things, and they all have their own noises that they bring with them, and they're very close to you all the time. And at first it was so exciting to be thrown into this culture that was so wildly different than what I was used to. But after a while, it really wore on me. Plus the sleep deprivation and the sad feelings I was feeling about leaving China, this kind of created worst case scenario. And you're probably thinking it can't get any worse than that, but It does. We were stuck on a train for several hours on our way out of the country. And although that was not already bad enough, the man behind me kept pulling my hair, and not on accident. And a lot like Elijah, I was 100% over it. I was crying, I could feel my blood boiling, and I was about to fly off the handle. But my best friend, thankfully, she was there, and she just pulled me close, and she prayed over me, and she said, "It's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be all right." And she just repeated that until it was. And if she wasn't there, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I'd probably be in Chinese prison, and I know for certain that man wouldn't have all his fingers. So there's an importance of being close. There's comfort in that closeness. And that brings me to my third point, which is to wait for the whisper. For me, if I had flown off the handle, things would have ended poorly. And for Elijah, if he had got upset and walked away, he would have missed out on the gentle whisper of God. A big way that I think we're missing out on the whisper right now is we're polluting our lives with noise. If we're being honest, we're spending a lot more time alone. And if we're being honest, we're probably experiencing loneliness in ways we haven't before. And so we're avoiding the one version of chaos where things aren't going our way and filling it with another where we don't have to acknowledge it because there's so much going on around me. We're watching all the TikToks, watching all the Netflix shows, we're playing Animal Crossing nonstop, we have the radio, the TV, the phone, the iPad, the computer all going at the same time. And it's just creating a lot of noise. But I really want to challenge you to pause, to wait. Listen for the whisper. Unplug a little bit. Lean into God. Wait it out. Listen for the whisper. I've already talked a lot about how Elijah had to be close to God to hear his whisper. But the other aspect of Elijah's encounter is that he had to wait for it. Like Elijah, waiting isn't easy for us. I really don't like waiting. Elijah had to wait out a hurricane, an earthquake, and a forest fire. For us, it's easy to feel like it went by pretty quick for Elijah. It's 3 sentences on the pages in the book of Kings. But think about how long a hurricane lasts, or an earthquake, or a forest fire. That's a really long time. And just because all of these things were happening and God wasn't showing himself to Elijah in those ways, it doesn't mean that God wasn't there. And it doesn't mean that God's not with you right now. No one likes waiting. But while we're waiting, we need to learn how to wait well. And the ways that we can do that, I've already touched on. We can wait well by taking care of ourselves. Maybe it's time to put down those Pop-Tarts and pick up some vegetables. Maybe you need to turn off your phone at night to get a good night's sleep. Maybe all of this talk about chaos has made you feel like you should get some professional help for what's going on. You need to learn to wait well by taking care of yourself. Another way that we can wait well is get close and get intimate with God. Maybe you need to lean in. Maybe it's time that you invite your friends into the conversation about what's going on with God. Maybe you need to just blast worship music and experience God's presence in that way. Maybe you need to read your Bible more. Waiting well means getting close. The biggest thing I want you to know is that the wait is going to end. Eventually, you will experience God in a new way, and I really believe that. You will receive exactly what you need. And I promise you, it'll be worth the wait.